Feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Hello and welcome to the video wrap-up show for the Shrimp Tank podcast in Seattle. I'm Dan Whedon and I'm joined by my co-host, Linda Popke. We had a fascinating and fun conversation with our guest, Lynette Winter. To catch the entire episode, and believe me, you should, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find all of our episodes, which is nearing 250 now, on our website at shrimptankpodcast.com/Seattle.
All right. Well, Lynette, thank you so much, because we have a fascinating interview and there are a lot of great points. So I do really encourage everybody to go listen to the entire interview. However, one thing that you really hit on that I want to ask you about is the idea that a team should have a shared purpose. So as opposed to a group of people that are just thrown together, maybe they're in the same organization or function. Talk to us about what you mean by a shared purpose and how that's so critical to a team.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. Oftentimes people come together and it's not really a team because they lack this, what we've articulated out as a shared purpose. When we talk about shared purpose, we're really talking about what is the future that we want to create together. That's a shared purpose. So somebody may say, and I see this a lot in many different organizations, and it's about, we want to improve the lives of people. We want to improve the lives of, this particular set of the population. And when we come together around a shared purpose, to me, what I think becomes clear is where are our values starting to align. We're pulling together for something that's greater than just me and my individual performance. And I think there's real power in that. It has staying power. It also has the power to help us make decisions because there's an alignment on what is this future that we're envisioning, that we're really willing to, we care enough about it to invest in the team and to invest in the work of creating this future.
Well, we talked on the podcast about this, and by the way, that commentary on shared vision was fantastic. People, you have to go listen to the whole interview because it was terrific. You've put this together. Your group, Altus Group, as Linda's showing right now, has put this into a book, Growing Groups into Teams. Lynette, I just want you to talk a little bit about two things. Number one, what's in the book, and then and what value leaders can get from it. But number two, how the book really came about, and then tell everybody how to get it.
Sure. What's in the book? Well, there's a lot in the book. What I particularly appreciate is there's this wonderful balance between telling stories about real teams and their journeys, as well as very practical. I'm a practical person. I'm pragmatic. I like the theory, but man, how do we put it into practice? And so the book has this excellent balance that and highlights, and here are the steps. Here are the things that need to happen for teams to really shift a group into a team. And, there's principles and there's specific worksheets. And so we're able to actually hand this to a leader and say, here's something that not only are we guiding you through, but we can help enroll your team into this work by having this shared understanding of what some of these key distinctions, like what is the difference between a group and a team? Or one of the key conversations that we have is that we talked about in the full podcast is what are the missing conversations? And so we tell stories about it in the book, but there are also very practical guides in how to have those conversations with teams. So that was part of the question. Another part of the question was, how did it come to be? So Altus Growth Partners is really comprised of truly a team. They have a shared purpose. we have a shared purpose. And what it is these individuals have not just the theory, but decades and decades of real practice in helping leaders shift groups into teams to accomplish something that they couldn't have accomplished as an individual or even as group, as a group. So those folks really came together and said, we continue to see this need. And yes, we're working with teams and we're supporting them, supporting the leaders and their teams. But how do we make this more widely available? So it was really born out of the need and the desire for leaders to say, how do I take this and scale this more broadly? And then the third part of your question, so you're testing my memory right now, which could be dangerous, I would say. But the third thing that you pointed to is how do we find out about the book? So major booksellers, all of those places. A really direct way to find the book is by going to altusgrowthpartners.com/book. And it's Altus, ALTUS, growthpartners.com, all one word, /book. And you can find how to order the book and get some additional resources and get to know a little bit more about who we are as an Altus Growth Partners team.
That's fantastic. And Lynette, you sort of answered the question I was about to ask, which is for, listeners that want to get in touch and learn more, how they can get more information. So I'm just going to repeat that. It's altusgrowthpartners.com. And that's where you find about Altus/book is where you find out about the book. And if people want to get in touch with you, what's individually, how should they do that?
Sure. LinkedIn, that's a great platform for how you can go find out about the work that I'm doing. And then, of course, Altus Growth Partners. I've got a bio out there and a link to be able to connect directly through my email as well. So delighted
Fantastic.
to support others and answer any questions.
Great. Thank you so much for being our guest here. And for everyone, once you check out the full episode, go and check out all the replays as well on shrinktankpodcast.com/Seattle, wherever you get your podcast, iHeart, Apple, Google, Spotify, SoundCloud, because, Dan, we are
ubiquitous.
We are ubiquitous. And once you do that, follow us on our show's social media pages on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Well, Lynette, many thanks to you for joining us today. And Linda, as always, great to see you. Everyone, if you like this video, go click like down below and subscribe. And then join us every Wednesday at noon Pacific on our live stream broadcast on our Facebook page. Until then, be safe, be well, and be prosperous, because for right now, the shrimp is back in the tank. So long.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond.